Hi, I'm Andy from Source Distribution, here with Eventide. I'm down in Brighton at GAK, and I'm here today to take you through the Eventide H9. So the H9 is kind of a progression on from the Factor series of pedals that Eventide brought out around about 2007. So the Factor pedals were a range of 4 pedals which included the TimeFactor, ModFactor, PitchFactor and the Space. So the TimeFactor was a collection of different delay types, ModFactor, huge collection of choruses, auto-wahs, flanges, rotary effects, all sorts. PitchFactor looked after a lot of the kind of harmonizer stuff that Eventide became incredibly famous for throughout the late 70s into the 80s. And the Space was a fantastic reverb pedal that would kind of put you anywhere from a small room to kind of these huge sprawling kind of atmospheric kind of angelic sounds. So what the H9 allows us to do is to host any of the algorithms, any of the sounds from those Factor pedals in one pedal. So the H9 can be a reverb, a delay, a phaser, a flanger, the chorus of angels, whatever you want it to be. And it comes in 3 different flavors. There's the H9 standard, which gives you kind of 14 algorithms, greatest hits of Eventide if you like. So a handful of delays, handful of reverbs, some pitch effects, and also kind of a whole host of modulation stuff. Pretty much everything you need to get through pretty much any gig. There's the H9 Max, which comes with around about 45 different algorithms, a whole host of presets, basically everything from the Factor series, and then anything else that will be released further on down the line. Finally, there's the H9 Core, which ships with 1 algorithm. And the thinking behind the Core is that if you already own one of the standards or the Max pedals, you can introduce an empty pedal into the mix and then just load separate algorithms into that. So in this setup that I've got here today, I've got the right hand pedal which looks after the majority of my kind of chorus sounds, phasers, univibes. What else have we got in there? So I've got some of the more traditional Eventide sounds, such as the H3000. For example, the H3000 was solely the preserve of high-end studios and superstar guitarists, so like Steve Lukather. Steve Vai would use those kind of effects to give you super stereo spread in the studio, and they'd also take it out live with them. So now the H3000 is available as a preset within H9. If we also look at some of the more ethereal stuff that Eventide are well known for, so like I say, that right hand H9 is looking after more of the kind of fairy dust kind of things. On the left hand side, I've dumped all of my kind of go-to delays and reverbs. So on here, I've got kind of a basic modulated delay. And the thinking behind having it on a separate pedal means I can stack and layer algorithms together. And also because I've got fewer sounds in this left-hand one, it means I can just get straight to the delays and reverbs that I need during a gig. The layout of the pedal gives us 2 inputs to allow stereo operation and also 2 outputs. The pedal can also be used in a mono in, mono out, mono in, stereo out, or you could just go kind of straight up through the pedal, mono in, mono out. On the back of the pedal, we've got an auxiliary switch, which can be tied to expression pedals, additional switches to control pretty much any function within the H9. And on the left-hand side of the pedal, we've got MIDI in, MIDI out. So if you want to connect it to a MIDI foot controller, you can kind of bang through your presets incredibly quickly, kind of have it tied to other effects processors, so they all switch in tandem. On the top of the pedal, we've got the hot knob, which is an encoder which can be assigned to pretty much any function. So it could be assigned to the mix of an effect, it can be assigned to the feedback of a delay. The idea being that having it on the top level there, you could use it as a real-time controller. So if you're dainty enough with your foot, you can increase the parameters of any effect while you're playing. On this top level here, we've got the X, Y, and Z controllers. Essentially, they give you access to the most relevant parameters within a setting. So if it's a reverb, 9 times out of 10, X will be a mix control. If it's a delay, Y may be the time of the first delay. Z in this case is the feedback of the second delay in this particular preset. If we hold on to one of these encoders, we can then go deeper into an expert mode, which then allows us to toggle through any of the parameters, and then we can just edit from this main light ring here. In terms of saving presets, we can just go hold the preset button, it'll flash, hold it again, and it'll save. One of the amazing things about the H9 is it's really straightforward to navigate. So if you do need to edit anything at a gig or in rehearsal, you can do it straight away without having to reach for the manual, kind of go really deep into the system setup, go menu, menu, menu. Everything's on the top layer, so you're not having to search for these parameters. Finally, there's a preset switch on the right hand side, which allows you to scroll through all the presets that are in the pedal. In terms of navigating sounds, we've got 2 foot controllers. On the right hand side is the ability to bank up through our presets. If we press the light ring, we can then bank down. So again, really straightforward to navigate during a performance. And then once we've queued an effect up, we can just launch it with the active switch. As I said, on the back of the H9, there is an auxiliary input. This allows us to tie together expression pedals, or in this case, on the one I've got here, I've got an external foot switch. So this is a really cheap non-latching foot switch, and I've tied that to the bank down function. So on the pedal, I can bank up, and then on this external foot switch, I can bank down. So if you've got more sounds to access, you can just get there in a lot quicker. As well as being able to edit H9 directly from the pedal, we can control it via an iPad app or an iPhone app. So this editor librarian allows us to access all the deep features of H9 in a really straightforward fashion. So one of the issues with a lot of kind of larger rack mount devices and kind of multi-effect processors is there's a quite steep learning curve in terms of reading the manual, getting used to the system layout, how the menu structure is. With H9, with the app, you can just dive in there straight away, start selecting sounds, start editing sounds, renaming, creating presets, all of that kind of thing is incredibly intuitive. So on our main page, we've got a number of algorithms, so everything from our delays, reverbs, PitchFactor, space, and some of the kind of specific H9 algorithms that exist within H9. This is also the place where, if you've got the standard version, you can then add algorithms on. So we can go to an online store, select H9, and then we can browse different algorithms. So if there's a specific pitch shift effect that you need that isn't included, you can then choose to purchase that at a later date. So you can kind of form the pedal around your performance, your style of music, the band you're playing with. If you're a composer and a specific job comes in that you think this sound would be perfect, you can just include that at a later date. We've got the option to listen to the sounds. We can also try them on the pedal, and then if you like it, you can choose to buy it. So all of those algorithms are around about £14. We've got a preset list, which we can then toggle through. Whenever you select any of these sounds, it loads into the pedal straight away. So in terms of auditioning and finding out what you might want to use, really, really straightforward. And finally, one of the most exciting features for me is the ability to organize preset lists. So I can go into a number of sounds that I've designed for a performance, go into that list, I can select, I can drag and drop, I can reorder all the settings that I might want to access on a particular gig or rehearsal. Once that's done, I can back up out of there and I can choose to save it to the pedal. So having two H9s here, I can choose the right hand one to look after all my kind of really heavy effects, choruses, ambient stuff, that kind of thing. And on the left hand side of this H9, on the left pedal, like I say, can all be reverbs, delays, that kind of thing. If you've got any further questions, feel free to get in contact with the guys at JAK or head along to jak.co.uk. Cheers, thank you.